Family, peace and love. Blessed New Year to everybody too, man. Hoping that everybody start off the new year prosperous. I hope that everybody, ended the new year strong. Going into the new year. I'm sorry to see all this craziness going on out here in these streets already in the beginning of the year and over there in Cali and New York and whatnot. But it's funny how we not hearing nothing about that in the main media. Like your boy Dana White, and they want to keep bringing up, Cosby, and now they want to try to bring your boy Tyson back in it. But the main corporates out here, I guess if you white, you can smack your wife and hook her in the club, and you're all good. You know what I'm saying? You don't get fired. You know what I mean, Mister? Want to run after every black man like he's running for cocks, and he's in a cock race trying to get all the cocks in the world. He run after black man, Mr. Ari Emanuel. You know what I mean? His ass ain't nowhere to be found. Mr. Ari's quiet all of a sudden. But he had all this to say about Kanye. So I'm hoping that y'all, through all this ruckus, kind of focus on what you have to do as progressive black people and pushing forward through all this foolishness. It's so much to go on with, man. I had a few things I want to discuss. I also want to show y'all something that you guys probably don't know about that's going on out here, man. And that's why we got to stay awake, man. There's so much happening out here in these streets right now. Like every minute you hear the reparations conversation is growing more and more and more and more. And, you hear, now main media is starting to cover it and speak on, the issue of reparations. But then you have a lot of white people, always crying about, well, I don't really oppose, but I don't really agree because I don't agree because I don't want it to affect my taxes, and I feel everybody should. Some white people, not all, most white people are like, I don't want it because I don't want to have to pay taxes for something that I didn't do. I didn't have any slaves, so my family. But see, that's a crock of bull, because a lot of you white folks, you indirectly benefit from, the, economics of racism that has been passed on generations. You had some fool on Tariq's show, or Tariq was speaking with some white people. These white women had some form, and they were, talking about reparations, and, one white lady was saying, oh, because I didn't own any slaves, and my parents, didn't own slaves and all that. I said, but your parents, Tariq checked them and said, but your parents ran over here to a country that they found out that had a economic base that was based off of the backs of black people. The whole economy and all the wealth that it grossed came off the backs of black people. So you basically came here to a country to have perks being given to you that wasn't even worked for, that it was already worked for you, So, and you have a lot of white folks that will use that argument about they not having any parents or anybody that owned slaves, or they didn't have anything to do. But all you all indirectly, benefit from slavery, can benefit from slavery, or have benefited from slavery. You all have $1 million worth of whiteness. And I agree, that's a term that Mr. Tariq Nasheed coined, and that's a smart term, because you all do. Because as a white person, it should be no reason why you are suffering in this country for no reason, shape, form, or fashion. All you gotta do is use your whiteness, because you all are dying out. So there's not many white people that's left in the world like that that are really producing, to keep your race lasting. This is why in America they doing all this, influxuation of immigrants, every 5 minutes. Before 12 noon in New York City, about 6 buses already went to Port Authority before 12 noon. I was just watching the news in New York today. I watch New York news every day along with my DC news, and they were talking about how they don't even have the money to really take care of the influx of all these people to house it, because they already had opened up a lot of temporary shelters, and they're running out of spaces. They said more people are coming quicker than they can find places to house them. And it's not just putting somebody in the building, y'all know that, because the building got to have electric, it got to have heat, you got to feed the people, you got to clothe the people. You know what I mean? So now, it's leading states like California, and New York tried it too. They tried to, force immigrants, without any type of citizenship, to be able to hold positions as police officers and whatnot, and or to be able to vote. Back then, it was about non-immigrants being able to vote, and the Supreme Courts in both states shut that down. California Supreme Court, I think New York Supreme Court shut that down as well. But now in California, they're working on the fact of trying to make non-citizens police. And my man TD Hip Hop, he hit on that this morning. So I wanna give you all a little peek into what's that's all about, so you all can see what's happening with that, because you're gonna really bug out. So check this out right quick. I hope you guys can hear it.
Back in April of last year, I reported on how there was an attempt being made in California to remove the requirements of being a citizen of the United States in order to be a law enforcement officer. Well, as of this year, in the state of California, it is now legal for non-citizens to become a police officer under California Senate Bill 960, or simply put, SB 960.
Let's start that again, because I'm not sure if you guys heard that. So let's go back to right here. Make sure you guys heard it.
Back in April of last year, I reported on how there was an attempt being made in California to remove the requirements of being a citizen of the United States in order to be a law enforcement officer. Well, as of this year, in the state of California, it is now legal for non-citizens to become a police officer under California Senate Bill 960, or simply put, SB 960. SB 960 eliminates requirement that peace officers be either U.S. citizens or permanent residents applying for citizenship. The law simply requires that anyone applying to be a law enforcement officer be legally authorized to work in the United States. Now, outside of the absurdity that you no longer have to be a U.S. citizen in order to be a police officer, the second thing that stood out to me is the quietness with which this bill was passed. Now, I know some of you may be saying, well, this is a local issue within California, so why would this be blasted all over national news? And though you may have a point to a degree when stating that, what I find odd is that not even the local news here in California, and to be even more specific to where I live, in Los Angeles, did you hear any mention of this bill being passed. This bill was quietly passed in the dead of night with no one knowing about it. So much so that if you do a Google search for SB 960, it is almost impossible to find any coverage of this bill being passed.
Called whitewash.
The majority of the search results that pop up will be non-mainstream fringe news sites that discussed last year how this bill was on the table to possibly being passed. But as it pertains to follow-ups on it, one of the only sites that actually covered SB 960's passing was this website here called Los Angeles Blade, Southern California's LGBTQ news source. Yes, an LGBTQ news site is one of the only sites that actually covered this, and outside of them, it is virtually radio
gay
silent.
magazine.
Now let's get specific.
Most major cities has a
What
blade.
does all this actually mean when we are discussing the elimination of the requirements of being a U.S. citizen or permanent resident? Well, U.S. Tech Workers, a Twitter page that follows all news covering immigration and immigration policies, states this. That means foreign students with OPT work permits, spouses of H-1B visa workers with H-4 HEAD, DACA recipients, spouses of L-1 visa workers, illegal aliens with employment authorization documents, EADs, are all eligible to apply in becoming law enforcement officers in California. Now follow me for a moment as I play this quick news clip of CBS New York, where a reporter had to sit down with Mayor Eric Adams on how he planned to handle the, at the time, newfound influx of illegal immigrants being bused to New York City. The mayor speaking as
Well, we don't have to go into that, because I already told you about how they're like before noon in New York City. There are like 4 to 6 buses of immigrants coming from the border that docks at Port Authority before noon, before and right at noon. This is every day. This has been going on. And they already opened 23 shelters in New York City, old hotels and whatnot, and you know what I mean. So they're finding this money, from somewhere, but they ain't got no money for black people, but they got all this money for everybody else, and then and they're talking about there are thousands of jobs, for them to work in New York State. Yeah, okay, right. Yeah, like those Latinos are going to be moving way up in Rochester and Albany and Syracuse, and all like them white people are going to really allow them to be moving all up there and infiltrating their neighborhoods and whatnot, But at the same time, you see, I mean, here now we're at an age now where it seems like it doesn't matter, if they are legal or not. They're just gonna bring them in, push them on you, make them policemen, They're gonna make them policemen. They're gonna make them basically be over you.
It's definitely going to mean something to you.
Check this out.
Battalion shield has been replaced with an NYPD
check this out.
shield. But I'm not interested in hearing excuses of how black folks joining the police force doesn't mean anything. Because it's for sure going to mean something when across the nation you got a bunch of non-citizens really busting you upside your head behind an LAPD badge. It's going to mean something then. It's most definitely going to mean something to you when that Osgood Battalion shield has been replaced with an NYPD shield. And now they're busting you upside your head. It's going to mean something then. In the tweet that I saw which first informed me of this bill passing, one of the #1 concerns that I saw from people is the possibility of cartel infiltration of law enforcement. Once again, when they start busting you upside your head or worse, it's going to mean something then. So like I stated earlier, for those of you who are big on police reform, police brutality, and police killings, well, all I can say is that you've now been properly informed on what's going on out here. So now the ball is in your court. Oh, it doesn't mean anything to have an all-black police force. Look at Baltimore. Yeah, all right. Well, we'll find out soon enough. When the Osgood Battalion hiding behind that badge pulls you over, we're gonna see. When the cartel hiding behind that badge pulls you over, we're gonna see. And I promise you, you're going to wish it was a black American brother then. And we'll see about that soon enough.
Word up, word up, word up, man. That's word now. I mean, really, I can't really add much more to that. All you black kids out here who ain't getting in trouble, who ain't in trouble, you kind of stuck in between, you don't know really what you want to do, go carry your motherfucking ass to the police academy. Go become a police. We're going to need you in the future. And you're going to need to have our backs, because you're going to be able to see the fuckery that's going to really go on. You know what I mean? Like my man say, it's already, they sneaking cartel, they sneaking the Osgods in here. You got all these kind of different ex-police factions that are corrupt, coming from different Latin countries. Not that all of them are, not that all Latin countries are corrupt, but a lot of them has a lot of fuckery. But I ain't going to say that every country's corrupt. Almost every country in the world is corrupt. All y'all countries got some bullshit with you. Ain't that one country in this world that is so clean and doing white and doing right. You know what I'm saying? Because you're doing white, you're definitely doing wrong. So, you know what I mean? I mean, y'all better wake up. You better wake up and see what they're doing. These white folks realize that they are dying faster than they are being born. This is an agenda. They are infiltrating the country with particularly Latino immigrants more than anybody else. Why? So that they can put the white numbers up in vital statistics. I told y'all that a long time ago. They get out of hand, they'll smack them back into place too. But as of right now, they can use their numbers to keep the money flowing federally to them. Meaning the white race. And the Latinos would get some crumbs, and the token Asians would get some crumbs, and the token Arabs would get some crumbs. You know what I mean? And you coon black people from around the world and here home, y'all get a smidget of a crumb. You know what I mean? just to keep the system in order, working properly. Yeah, sure will. I mean, it's just like, to take me to another point, because I have my things written down. I always write down what I'm about to say. To take me to another point, notice how Biden, when he went down to the borders, notice what he basically specifically pointed out. He named it by country. And most of these countries are black countries. He said Honduras. He said all you people coming from Haiti. He said you people from Cuba. You people coming from Nicaragua. Ain't there mostly a lot of black people in Nicaragua, a lot of black people in Honduras. We know niggas is all in Cuba. They ain't nothing but that's a nigga. Niggas is all in Haiti. But, he didn't say the niggas who don't want to be niggas, the Dominican Republic. He ain't say nothing about them. But I'm sure if them niggas start fluctuating over here real quick, no matter how much they think they're some brown-skinned Spaniards, not knowing them the same niggas off the same slave ships with our cousins and shit, they would goddamn make carry their ass back to the damn Santo Domingo too. But notice how that old fossiled up, grizzly ass, sick, pathetic white man sat there and just specified all the black Latino countries. He didn't say nothing about Mexico. He didn't say nothing about daggone Puerto Rico. Well, you can't really say nothing about Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico's American. But he didn't say anything about, Venezuela. He didn't say anything about Argentina. But he sure said something about the black people. Excuse me, y'all. Yeah, what's up, guys? You're gonna have to wait because I got a cop for a second. I don't really have that right now. Let me call you back. Let me call you. Let me see what's going on right quick. All right. So it go. But anyway, I want you guys to realize that there is a serious war going on against black people, particularly foundational black Americans. I mean, we got it coming from all fronts, man. All fronts. That's why you Haitians ain't got no time to be sitting there being divisive. As y'all like to try to say we are. Y'all all got mad and jumped on Will Smith movie. Y'all just trying to jump on Will Smith because of what Will Smith did. Y'all just trying to, Will Smith's name is hot and, that's some bullshit. Talking about the inaccuracies. You know what I mean? Yeah, you didn't say that before the movie came out. I'm sure the movie was premiered to you prime ministers down there before it came out because it's a movie dealing with somebody who's from Haiti. And the brother really wasn't from Haiti anyway, to my understanding. So it's a lot of bullshit that's got to do with it, man. That prime minister coming at Will, man. Y'all just figure Will is open market right now, because he put himself out there by smacking the shit out of Chris Rock, which he shouldn't have did. You know what I mean? And if Chris Rock was a man, he'd have hooked that nigga just as he got smacked, because we'd have been on that stage bad. That'd have been one time y'all have had a whole opportunity to say, see, them niggas don't know how to act, because I'd have acted up that night. That fucker that came in there and smacked me, I'd have hooked him and uppercut him, roundhoused him, stomped. I'd have beat the shit out of Will Smith on that motherfucking stage. I'd have stomped and romped his ass on that motherfucking stage. I would have romped the shit out of Will Smith and any other nigga that tried that shit. I would put every effort and every piece of strength in my body to make sure your ass stay motionless when I get finished with your motherfucking ass. Do you hear me? Put your motherfucking ass on, your hands on Shaka Ben Judah if you want to, bitch. That'll be the worst nightmare of your life. All this war we got going against us, all these young black people out here dying all of a sudden from heart attacks. They don't know what's wrong. All of them got the vacation. Everybody done went and got the vacation. Now all of a sudden, a bunch of young motherfuckers is dying from heart failures and heart troubles. And then we have Reuters. We have Reuters news publication, one of the most prestigious publications in the world, Reuters. The Reuters news publications reports that the C-19 vacation results in strokes and sudden cardiac arrests. And that's not coming out of my mouth. That's coming from Reuters. That got its stuff, saying it has something to do with the Pfizer and the Moderna vaccines. I didn't say it. Fair use. Reuters publication. They said it. Now, why is Reuters saying that the vaccines has a direct result in strokes and heart attacks? Sudden now. Now, I know suddenly all these young folk recently just been falling out. Sudden. Makes me go back to wonder what happened to Kevin Samuels. Sudden. Notice how all of a sudden, all these young folk in their mid-30s and 20s is just killing over. The young men on the football field, he done played football a million times. They got hit like that. That wasn't a real major hit. The dude just went down to chest him. To move him back. How many times cats have been chest like that? Come on, we just watched games all this weekend. Cats getting chest the fuck up. We ain't see nobody fall. Now, you know what I mean? But, maybe he hit him hey, all I say is Reuters publication, worldwide renowned Reuters. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with my today. Sticker. Let's get it together. So, you know what I mean? Sticker. Anyway. It makes something to make you go, like Austin used to say, and why aren't they jumping on Reuters? Why aren't they jumping on Reuters magazine? Why aren't they getting on that? I mean, why aren't they flagging in? Why aren't they getting in their ass? And did y'all see Shannon Sharp make a goddamn fool of himself? Now he's sitting on TV, got to apologize to everybody, man. Shannon. You're not Dana White. You're not none of them white boys. Can't y'all see what's going on? Just recently here, they want to bring up your boy. They want to bring up your boy, Mike Tyson and Bill Cosby again, I mean, what's that all about? Why are we bringing up Mike Tyson? Check out this little snippet.
Family and fellow soldiers, I'm the professor, and this is the moment of truth.
I like to show receipts.
So let me make sure I got this straight. Dana White is caught on video beating his wife in public, and he's back at work at the UFC.
Yeah.
And the white media is not making any sort of scandal about that. Nobody's trying to put him on Front Street or humiliate him publicly on camera about it.
Yeah, him was
They
basically.
just instead say, well, he says that if he were to be suspended from UFC, it would hurt the company, and I guess that's just it. No accountability. What can you do?
Hey.
And of course, Dana
Les
White's boss,
Moondes.
buddy Ari Emanuel, is being allowed to remain in hiding. There's public outrage and outrage from within UFC. There's outrage in political circles like the California Women's Caucus, but what there isn't is punishment.
There you go.
So that's Dana White. Alec Baldwin shot a woman to death, and the DA says that she's not going to have him arrested, even though he's been charged with 2 counts of manslaughter.
And y'all know if that had been a black man, and even though first of all, I don't know why Alec keep pointing a gun at a motherfucker. Nigga, you don't point no gun at no motherfucking body. Nigga, you got a gun in your hand. If I got a gun in my hand, I'm checking my gun out, meaning I'm looking at the ammo, I'm clicking back on the daggone hammer, making sure it's right if it ain't a revolver, because I ain't never worrying about revolver. That's why I like revolvers. You know what I'm saying? And, you know what I mean? I'm making sure everything's straight. Now, if I'm on a set and it's supposed to be some motherfucking dummy bullets, which never looks like a bullet, because it don't have no head on it, it just has a pop like a firecracker. It makes a fire, that's all. You know what I'm saying? Then, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be like, what the fuck, man? Who put real bullets in here? As I digress.
I mean, where do they do that at? So clearly
Exactly.
the Suzanne out there, they don't want to damage Baldwin's reputation by making him take a mugshot. This is sweeping it under the rug, so you can expect some sweetheart plea deal to be offered to him in the not-too-distant future.
You see?
It's already been offered to the assistant director on the movie where the homicide took place. And this latest plea deal will go perfectly with all of the other plea deals that he's been given in New York. No matter how violent his behavior is.
Yeah, because Alec Baldwin got a long, violent
beat
record.
A woman just a couple of weeks ago and kill a woman 18 months ago and be walking the streets free. Meanwhile, if you're black, someone can crawl out of the dirt with no evidence whatsoever, claim you did something to them 33 years ago, and it's treated as front page news.
Oh, yeah.
So much for if it bleeds, it leads, huh? Mike Tyson has spent the last 30 years living down that rape accusation against him that put him in prison. Mike Tyson has already shown that the man can keep his nose clean, so people ought to be asking real questions about the validity of that conviction. But the white media and the white authorities that be chose their target with care. After all, when you got the man's own wife saying, well, he's been abusing me, as far as everyone's concerned, okay, she's given cover for whatever it is we choose to do to him next. And by the way, I think it bears noting that Mike Tyson has had a much more vibrant career in entertainment than his ex-wife and accuser, Robin Givens.
You see how that goes?
These laws, like the one in New York, that basically eliminates the statute of limitations when it comes to accusing people of rape or sexual assault, obviously that's not something that's supposed to apply to everyone because it's not being applied to everyone. This law that they have in New York is we will have a perpetual line of Negroes accused of sexual whatever, as long as they're prominent, because that's what this is really about. These laws extending the number of years that accusers can try to have someone prosecuted were passed by California and New York, which is where the vast majority of black celebrities live.
Okay.
And while you only get one Harvey Weinstein being targeted under these laws, so far in the last 30 days we've seen both Bill Cosby and now Mike Tyson being sued in New York by women using that law, basically declaring no statute of limitations. And of course, it's absolutely no coincidence that it's Cosby and Tyson. Both of them were falsely accused of rape. They were both made to do time for crimes they didn't commit, and both of them are black. So now the attacks are coming and coming and coming and still coming. Bill Cosby is a free man. He proved that the accusations against him were false, and he's not likely to ever go back to prison again, so this is about making sure that people are reminded of the smears against him. Oh, Cosby's talking about going back on a comedy tour again. White media saying, oh, we're not going to let you rehabilitate your reputation. We're not going to let you rehabilitate your image. We're going to make sure that we tell people...
Oh, but Dana, he's a pristine, decent, upstanding citizen, though, ain't he? Mr. White.
So.
Got the perfect name, too.
They've got at least one accusation, by the way, of these new 5 accusers, who, by the way, are not really new at all. But one of these accusers has a claim that she said happened back in 1969. That's what she actually saying. Cosby did something to me back in 1969.
69, I was 5 years
Most
old.
of the people in the sound of my voice probably weren't even born then. But any rumor will do, I suppose. By the way, the women who are suing Cosby this time around were represented previously by Gloria Allred. I'm sure you didn't see that one coming. Gee, the coincidences just seem to keep on piling up. As is the fact that you don't see these kinds of persistent smear campaigns and witch trials being carried out against anyone else other than black men. Michael Jackson continually harassed and dragged into court repeatedly, even though he proved all the accusations false. O.J. Simpson made the target of the trial of the century and was promptly acquitted. Then he was tried in civil court, then hounded by the white media for several years over any rumor that they thought we're going to chin up another prosecution of him. Then finally, they put charges against him in Las Vegas because he was trying to retrieve his own property.
Shit niggas stole from him.
Because this was a show trial, make sure that you got basically an all-white female jury.
So basically, you guys got the gist of what's popping, man. You know what I mean? That was your brother, Professor Black Truth. So you guys got the gist of what's, you know what I mean? It's funny how when it comes to us, it's always, oh, we can't do this, or you are this great villain, you know what I mean, with the wanted poster, you know, boldly in dark letters, or, you know, with with the bars going across your face and you sitting there, you know, your face shot mug and your mug shot up in there. Oh man, I mean, a war that's against black people, in particular black men. I mean, it is crazy. You know, it is crazy. And then you have fools like Mark Lamont Shield and Eric, damn too smart to be smart, dumb Dyson, out here crying about how no one is listening to them or no one listening to the black media heads that they feel that should be listened to because they are PhD, master degree, double master degree, or whatever, MD. You know, why is everybody listening to cats like moi? You know, because we don't have the collegiate educational validity to be able to be expounding on such subjects as we did. Get the fuck out of here. Nobody wants to hear that bullshit that they're talking. Because they're blowing wind up your ass. You know what I mean? That shit that they're talking, they just want a job. These guys be jockeying for jobs. They're mad. They had the opportunities. You know? They had the opportunities. Because both of these guys have been on major publications. You know, these white people, as you can see, when they get done with their tools, they broke them. Now YouTube, well, not so much Michael Eric Dyson, but more of Mark Lamont Shield, because he's steady looking for a home to go and spew his fuckery on. His Bucci catness. You know what I mean? He's too busy want to keep telling us to vote blue no matter who. You know? And Eric Dyson, you know, he just want to be able to try to, you know, broker some money for HBCU so that way he can continue his speaking tours and get paid, you know, 6 figures to come see people and blowing up their asses that the, you know, dominant society don't mind him doing. You know, he sit there and can grandstand, oh, look at me and my PhDs, and I'm all this and I'm all that. But do y'all have a problem with Dr. Boyce Watkins, though, when he speaks about his being a PhD in finances, where there's not a lot of people who has a PhD in, you know, and he's got the Black Financial Channel and teaches people. That's the problem, reason why y'all really hate him, because he's taught to educate a lot of black folks. He's helped a lot of regular black people like myself even reach certain financial prominence, you know what I mean? And, you know what I mean, who's probably just a regular old dude just trying to make it like myself out here, you know what I mean? You know, when they, you know, he helped them get their chips up, you know? So, you know, they're going to always hate on us, and you're going to always have their, you know, flunkies that come out here, Eric Dyson and Mark Lamont Shield, that sit there and cry about, you know, why people even, you know, paying us attention, because we're bringing the realness to you. We're bringing the facts to you. We're bringing the receipts to you. We're bringing to you what is really going on out here. You know, like every white person hating on you getting reparations because they wanted to worry about their taxes. Well, I don't see you worrying about your taxes being taxed when they're sitting there funding the daggone war over there in Afghanistan. I don't see you worrying about your taxes and they sending billions of dollars to daggone Ukraine almost every other week. Ain't none of y'all saying nothing about your taxes then. You know what I'm saying? But then you want to say something about your taxes. Oh, you ain't saying shit about your taxes. They're sitting here trying to keep your white numbers up by bringing all your Latino friends up from the damn border. You ain't saying shit about your... That's costing money. Y'all ain't saying a damn thing about that. Oh, well, wait a minute. Oh, you got something to say about when black people can possibly get reparations. Oh, you don't want your taxes to go to that. That's what it is. You don't want your taxes to go to them niggas. Or your taxes go to anybody else, but don't you let my tax money help get them niggas nothing. See, what y'all really worrying about is this. Just like a lot of native coon Africans who like to come with that, you know, divisiveness, as they like to say we do. You know, not all of you. You know who I'm talking to. When I talk like this, I shouldn't have to say every time, not all of you. And I'm not going to keep saying not all of you every time. Because my brothers who my brothers over there know who my brothers are. In the Caribbean and Africa. The rest of you coons, you know who you are when I'm talking about you. Just like the coons over here. My foundation of Black American coons. Plenty of them. So coons is a coon is a coon. Should be a coon. And always will be a coon. Okay, where you at? What y'all worrying about? Most you coons and you racist white Lilliputians, most of you Putians are worried about is that you know damn well if we get our money right, a lot of us gonna get tight out here. A lot of us are gonna incorporate. A lot of us are gonna become self-businessmen, and you know, a lot of us. Like Farrakhan was saying, I was watching him earlier today. He was saying, you all want to let a child go to school, create a daggone student loan bill, and have him to come out and work for somebody's corporation. But you don't want him to go to that school and teach himself how to come out and to create jobs that can put more people to work and make himself a CEO or a boss and help others grow to that. You don't want that. You don't want to do that. You want to keep him paying that daggone bill for the rest of his life, working your goddamn bullshit ass corporate job. Like my man Doran post something on YouTube, on Facebook that was real interesting. A young lady, I know y'all seen her. She been crying about how she got a bullshit a bonus and she got a bullshit raise, but they brought this white girl in within 2 weeks, gave her all this salary and all, and lift the white girl over her, and they gave her all that bullshit to basically blowing up her ass just to fire her. And she been there for a long time putting in work. And she crying and she sniffing and whatnot. You know? Her severance package is probably some bullshit. Because they fired her. Just to bring that little lily white Putian girl in there who probably don't have half the experience you have. Probably don't have none of the know-how you have. Or even probably know how to even troubleshoot the way you know how to troubleshoot being there the many years working with that organization. She gonna come in there because she's just white, see? And I bet you, they asses are gonna be needing you back, but gonna be so proud not to crawl back to you because they know they have to crawl back and they have to fucking lay out the red carpet with diamonds, not no goddamn rose petals, but diamonds all over the motherfucker for you to come back. You know, see, a lot of white folk don't think. You know, and a lot of these other white kids that just want to bump you out the way, they don't think. They don't probably think that, hold on, you might want to leave them here with me because they knew how to run this. I don't really know how to run this shit. I mean, I got the education, I got some skill set, but I don't really. This is an ongoing thing, and it starts as soon as I set foot in here, and I got to learn some things. So you might want to let Doris stay around, let Ebony stick around for a little while. Now y'all so pompous and so stuck on yourselves and think you got it like that you would just step in that position, knowing that you are ill-equipped to do it. And watch Stephanie and watch Shaquita walk out the door. Now you're fucked up in the game, and the company is too proud to go back and crawl to Shaquita and throw that damn red carpet with the diamonds on it to have her to come back to keep the shit rolling smooth. Yeah, they'd rather go into the goddamn red, you see, than to stay in the black just because of white supremacy. How many companies done shot themselves in the foot like that? So I know y'all seen that on YouTube or Facebook, and this is one reason why I jumped out there on faith, and I don't work for nobody no more. I've been working for myself now for about going on 4 years now. Well, not quite 4, about 3. You know what I mean? And it's ups and downs. Right now I'm in a down time. Right now, this time of year here is really, it's wishy-washy. But it'll pick back up. You just gotta try to do things to keep you floating. Hence the phone call. So, I mean, black people, we gotta get on code. I mean, all over the world, Africans, Jamaicans, Caribbeans, blacks, you all know what happens in America. Because we are the moral compass of black people around the world. That's just how it is. That's just how it is. You know? We're the moral compass. What happens here with black people is seems to slide over to you all too. Jamaica, you know, because when they legalized marijuana here, all of a sudden they legalized marijuana. When they legalized marijuana in DC, that's when they legalized marijuana in Jamaica. It was only till then. And y'all know DC is a predominantly black state. No matter how many of these lily white puces move here, it's still predominantly black. So, you know, we got to get on code, because what works for us, it will pass down to you. You know? If it happens for us, it happens to you. You see what's going on over in California. If y'all don't know, they done went past the reparations talk. Now they talking dollars. And so far the dollars they've been talking about is, I'm talking about LA. I ain't talking about that bullshit in San Francisco. That's kind of wishy-washy. San Francisco is okay. They're talking about $5 million per person to be given to them over a course of years, like $200-something thousand a year. Well, this is what I got to say, and it's more exactly. There's more to come to that. There's other tangibles and whatnot, perks, and in San Francisco, they know that up there in that damn Bay Area, ain't that many niggas up there. That's really foundational black America, and you had to be a citizen there for over 13 years. So in San Francisco, they got a lot of little stipulations for your black ass. So don't think because you black, I come from Nigeria or I come from South America, Brazil, that you gonna go in California and get some money because you black. Oh hell no, you ain't. No, sir. If you ain't proving your people come from the killing fields of the South, or somebody's killing field from the West or the North in America, where there was slavery going on, because it was slavery going on in California. Don't let anybody tell y'all nothing different. If they don't, you know, if you can't prove that shit going back to the 1870 census, then ain't no need talking. Just go sit your ass down, go get with CARICOM, go get whatever other com you need to get with, and work on y'all's. And sit back and let us handle our business. Because when our business get handled, just like the weed thing, it's gonna pass on to y'all Jamaicans and everybody else. You know? Everybody else gonna step in line. It's gonna start off with California. Everything in America, I'm gonna say something. I don't know if you all foreigners know. Historically, things that usually move as a movement or a precedent for black people, it starts off in California most time, and a lot of times up in Oakland and San Francisco. Then it comes over to the East. All the shit, you know what I mean, Panthers, whatever you want to think about. A lot of the shit that went down in the black movement and the black progression started off right there in Oakland, in San Francisco. You know, LA. That's where it started at. And it come over and just, you know. So, you being here on the East Coast, if you are black foundation American and you hating on what's happening on the West, you need to check yourself. You need to be in the pocket with them. You need to be backing them. You need to be, you know, making sure that, you know, we speak goodwill and we you know, put out posts and, you know, we ride for our people over there, because riding for them is gonna look out for us. Because I know Meryl Bowser, because Meryl Bowser is gonna be pretty much like a mayor for life here in DC as long as there are white people and gays. Because she ain't worrying about the niggas here, because niggas don't too much care for her. I believe most of us went and voted for Trayvon White and what is it, Trayon? What? Boy, you know your name. That Trayon White boy here in my ward, in Southeast here. And they voted for your boy who I was pushing, who some of y'all might have seen I put on, you know, my posts, you know, the comedian brother, Red Grant, you know. And I believe Red Grant would probably do something, you know. And I understood why he tried to step into it, because, you know, he see ain't nothing being done for us. Everything is being done for these white folks that's coming here. And all these Latinos, they ain't building nothing for black people. You know what they're doing for us? Look, they don't went, first of all, we've never got anything tangible and sound We always got symbolic bullshit, but now every time they give somebody something tangible and sound, I just see another mural painted up on somebody's building of some, and it's always black women. Y'all got all these murals around DC. Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. What's with all these murals around DC I see, man, with all these black women? They mostly, you can tell they foundational black American the way they doing it too. What's with all these murals I see of black, strong women? And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, hey, kudos. But why I ain't seeing no black foundational American men murals around the city? Oh, what, we don't exist? We're not here? Are we not, relevant in this city? Huh? It's bad enough that it's already tokenism. It's just tokenism. Y'all throwing up these murals so these black women out here can feel like they something as they walk through the streets to your big government and your big private corporate buildings and go to work for your white asses. Little white Pushin asses. That's all y'all worrying about. Y'all want them to see something to make them feel good about themselves while they walk inside your building and be treated like some shit. It's nothing but tokenism, girls. They're trying to make y'all feel like y'all bigger than the black men. Y'all much more. Y'all much more important. Y'all much more bigger than us. No, you're not. No, you ain't shit without us. Let me get that straight for you. And they're gonna show you black fool, feminine bitches that's real soon. Y'all ain't shit without the black man. Y'all little stupid ass girls better wake up and smell the coffee. And y'all the ones they putting as the damn coffee beans in the goddamn grinder to grind up and brew. Cause they brewing y'all asses. With your little token ass goddamn murals around the city. Making you think that you more important than the black man. They don't even mention the black foundational American and man in DC. It's like we non and void. Then y'all sisters get mad because brothers now are starting to go overseas and look for Filipino girls. I'm seeing a lot of niggas now with white girls walking around here again. White girl look very happy too. That's what killed me. The white girl that be with that nigga, she looks very fucking happy. That bitch walk around with that nigga like she done hit the motherfucking lotto. Powerball, if you will. Mega. I'm telling you. Whether it's baby in tow or not. I'm seeing it because, one of my independent jobs for myself is doing DoorDash. So I'm all over the city. Maryland, Virginia. I'm everywhere. I'm seeing it. You go to any but kill me, you see it in the neighborhoods that's more affluent. And these ain't these ain't all no damn immigrants. These be foundational black American boys. Yeah. With these white girls. I see it all over. And I know something else about these white girls. These white girls are trying to blacken themselves up. Physically. With hairstyles. The white girl asses out here getting fat as hell, y'all. I've seen them out here. Man, look. I'm a man. A fat ass is a fat ass. I'm going to look at it. And I be seeing some fat to death white girls walking around here. With a hell, but I think it's a dormant gene that's in them that's now coming to fruition. That's been in them a long time ago. See, white women were into trying to keep their asses flat and this little narrow olive oil shit that was going on back. But see, people like, I've been told y'all this in plenty of my posts before. People like Kirstie Alley, people like your girl Jennifer Lopez. They kind of smashed that flat butt, narrow ass white woman syndrome. When you saw Kirstie Alley, you saw a fat ass, hippie ass white woman with some super titties. God bless her soul. I think she just recently passed too. So God bless her soul. May she reach the gates of Zion in the name of the Most High Yah. As I greet you all, I didn't greet you all in the name of Yah today. I apologize. Rastafari. But I mean, they're trying to act like some of these brothers out here are wrong for saying, you know what, okay, y'all sisters don't want me, to hell with y'all. Because y'all sisters make it hard to approach you physically up front in person. Y'all heifers want to be courted online on date sites and shit. Cause I be on them too. And y'all can be on them shits knowing you're lying. I had one woman got mad as hell at me last week because she was 1 minute telling me, you know, I had went on there because her daughter was attractive. But she was on there. So I know, and her daughter was like in her 30s, so don't trip. But her mom was around my age, so her mom must have had her very young. Because her daughter was like in her early 30s and mom was like in her mid 50s, so mom had her young. So, and daughter was very attractive, so I went there because of her first. But then I saw mom, and mom was attractive, and I felt like, you know, mom's a little older. I'd rather deal with mom anyway. So mom was like on the side, you know, looking. Basically, mom using superfine daughter to pull for her too. They gonna pull for each other. Get it? Mom's fine. At 55, mom's fine. Mom's 55 look like a 35. Her daughter at 35 could go for 25. You know what I mean? Now, my age limit for women is 35 to 60. I haven't went over to that 60 yet. I've met some nice ones, but I haven't dated none of them. You know, I keep getting younger women in their 30s and 40s. But mom got mad at me because, see, mom don't realize niggas like me listen. So when I was kicking into mom, we was talking about, and I was telling, yeah, you know, your daughter's what interests me, what brought me to this page. I said, but you know, when you kept intervening in the conversation, and I started getting intrigued by you, and now I'm interested in you. And I went to see her profile and saw how fine she looked. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm definitely interested in you. Mom said something slick. You know, y'all be trying to throw little jabs and shit. Or a little quick hook and think a nigga don't see it. I take it, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna trip on you. But when I come at you, don't trip on me neither. Mom gonna say, yeah, well, I was hoping that my daughter's next stepfather would be a little younger than me. Now, mind you, mom 55. So how much younger are you talking about, mom? Okay, so mom want a young man. Ain't nobody tripping, right? So as this conversation went on, right? Mom said something. And I said to her, I can't quite remember what it was pertaining to age and guys. And mom, I said, come on now. I said, don't lie, tell the truth. She said, what? I'm not lying, I'm telling you. She started getting serious now, right? And it has something to do with men and age. I said, well, earlier you were saying to me that, you know, you wanted your next daughter's stepfather to be a little younger than you. That meant a younger man, meaning younger than you. You're 55, so I would say 5 to 10 years. So you looking at, you want a nigga like 50 or maybe 45 even. Most likely me knowing you want a nigga in his 40s. A woman in her 50s want a nigga, because really I want women in their 30s and 40s. I don't really want no women quite my age unless you really super fine like her mom was and you got something going on. Other than that, I'd rather have a younger woman because they have more zest and they have more, see, younger people, they seem to be more understanding than a lot of you old fools. I'm just gonna keep it above. It's simple as that. And mom got offended when I pointed it out to her. How you don't come in a line, you don't know what you're talking about. You know, and then when I addressed to her about how she just recently said to me how she wanted a younger man for her next daughter's stepfather, then all of a sudden mom got mad, they mute me and shit, and the mom started going on. I was sitting there laughing. Me and my man D was sitting there watching. I was sitting there laughing at her. I said, see how you women is fake? See, 1 minute you say this and the next minute is that when you get addressed by that. Now you want to try to change it up. And you can, look, the worst thing you can ever do is try to change a horse in the middle of a stream. You're going to drown you and the goddamn horse. You just got to ride that horse across that stream. You can't change horses in the middle of the stream. There's no way you can do that. So, if anything, you just get off the horse and hold his ring and you know, swim across the water with him, but don't go try to get on another horse, you know, because you're putting weight on that horse. You getting off the horse, somebody else y'all changing the horse. No. So y'all women get out this daggone bullshit to think that y'all something special over black men. We are special together. We are magnificent together. But you sitting here letting the white society trying to give you symbolic gestures and bullshit ass tangibles and gifts and murals to make you feel like you're more important than the black man, and you are a black fool as a woman. A lot of you feminists are allowing this gender divide and white society. Once again, I just told you all there is a war against black people, and that is one of their war mechanisms, the gender divide. Don't y'all let that shit happen. There's so much more I want to talk about, so much more I can go into. I ain't want to go over an hour. I'm going to stay in this hour. I'm going to come back at y'all again, man. I just ain't seen y'all in a minute. I had to holler at y'all because I ain't made no posts in a while. And I just wanted to let my family know I love them. I'm still here. Shock B is in the house. I'm chilling. I just been on my grind, y'all. I've been working, you know, things got tight, you know what I mean? And I just been having to grind. I ain't had really no time to sit down. This is the first time I had time to sit down and really do a post. First of the year post, excuse me. And I just pray that we all be prosperous. I pray that, you know, we all stay healthy. I pray that we all elevate in our minds every day. In the name of the Most High, Yah, Rastafari, peace and love. Talk to y'all later.